In a way, this desire for pleasure is a negation of life. And this is what most of us are engaged with. This negation of life actually gives rise to the notions of the individual. Individuality is a negation of life, in the sense that it's a limitation of our options, a supreme limitation. I'm not suggesting that some politics of social egalitarianism is the answer here. It's nothing to do with that. But when we don't realise the nature of our consciousness, which is supreme, then we're limited. Individuality is about limiting. It's limiting the flow of life. It's limiting our realisation and appreciation of the infinite, omnipotent nature of our own consciousness. So when self-knowledge arises, that's when we have this realisation, desire drops away, and with it the self abandons the notion of individuality and realises its infinite nature. Notice the order here. When self-knowledge arises, desire drops away. We're often told that once we get rid of our desires, self-knowledge arises. It doesn't work that way. It works this way. Self-knowledge arises. That's the only way that desires are going to go away, in the realization of the nature of our essential self. You can't get rid of desire any other way, except if you've got some pathological desire, then perhaps some kind of cognitive behavior therapy might do it. You can do a bit of psychological adjustment. Then you're still operating in accordance with desire to change your behavior. But the only real way to get rid of our fundamental conditioning is by realization of our essential nature. They who entertain such notions as "this is mine" and "I am this" fall into the pit of ignorance. I am this is all our notions about ourselves. I am a parent, I am a child, I am a friend, I am a pretty decent fellow, I'm a terrible fellow, I'm a worker, I have colleagues, this is my place in the scheme of things. All of this is part and parcel of jivahood, notions of individuality. They who have abandoned such notions with their heart and mind ascend higher and higher. So it's not just thinking that you're other than all these things. You need to realize it in your heart. Behold the self-luminous self which pervades everything. The very moment that this omnipresence of consciousness is realized, one crosses the ocean of samsara. Again, this is spiritual practice. It's not a once and for all thing. You have to keep doing it. You have to keep doing it. It pervades everything. Everything was within it. It's not so much that it pervades everything. Everything actually is within it. Everything arises within it. If there was no consciousness, there would be nothing. Know that whatever is done by Brahma, Vishnu, etc. is done by you. Important point, we often hear about Brahma creating the universe. Brahma is really Maya. Maya is delusion. Maya is the cognitive process. Maya is the limiting faculty. It's what creates notions of individuality and an external world. Brahma, Vishnu, and Vishnu maintains this. Vishnu preserves our notions of order, our notions of the world and ourself in it, reinforces it. Brahma kicks it off, Vishnu reinforces it. So the actions of Brahma and Vishnu are the actions of our own psyche. Whatever is seen at any time, all that is the self of the infinite consciousness, You are that infinite consciousness, not you as an individual. You, the consciousness here addressing the consciousness there, it's the same consciousness. With what can that be compared? You are neither the void nor non-void, neither consciousness nor unconsciousness, neither the self nor another. I'm not feeding you notions here. The Yoga Vasishta is not feeding us notions. Rest in this knowledge, rest in this realization, rest in the nature of your own consciousness, or rest in the nature of the consciousness within which you arise. There is neither a place called liberation nor another. When the ego sense dies, ignorance perishes, and that is known as liberation. He who has attained this self-knowledge goes beyond the caste system and the regulations concerning the orders of life and the scriptural injunctions and prohibitions, even as the lion breaks out of its cage. We are not bound by anything. His actions are not motivated and are non-volitional. Hence he is not tainted by their merit. He is beyond praise and censure. He does not worship nor receive worship. He is not agitated by others. He does not agitate others, although others might get agitated by him. He alone is fit to be worshipped, glorified and saluted. Not by rites and rituals, but by the worship of such sages alone does one attain wisdom. Well, the worship here is by putting into practice the teaching, or the sage within oneself, the sage which is the result of spiritual practice. That's what we salute, that's what we acknowledge, that's what we move towards, that's what we immerse ourselves in.